I'm going to quit my job, and literally quit my job 2 days later. I've got to take ownership of my life and put my hands on the wheel.
His name is Russ. He bought that mic, and now he's got a podcast show.
I'm going to own this issue that everybody's using as an excuse, and we're going to overcome it and move forward and be successful. And then really got the opportunity to jump into the finance manager role, and that was really where my life kind of shifted a lot.
Really? Explain that.
Yeah, I mean, it was all I ever wanted, Russ, to be transparent with you. I mean, there was not a week that went by after my first 2 to 3 years of being high level successful in that business that I was not knocking on my GM's door and saying, "Hey, when's the next opportunity? When's the next opportunity? I want it. I want it." That was all I wanted. I wanted to be a finance manager. That's where I had really set my bar at. But it was interesting because when I got there, sometimes like the wrong life can look right on paper, and that's kind of what makes it dangerous. I got there and I was like, man, this sucks. I'm at this dealership for 80 hours a week. I'm at the mercy of these people walking in at 8 o'clock wanting to buy a car. Like, the money was great, but the life that I was not living was worse. Like, I could not function in that role. And it's crazy that that was what I wanted so bad. And then when I got it, I realized that I don't want this. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a golden handcuff scenario. You're making a ton of money, but at what cost? And then I
Right.
started to kind of zoom out, and really my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, was pivotal in that transition, because she was harping on me. She's like, hey, if I'm gonna continue dating you and we're gonna make a life together, I don't want to be raising kids by myself, have a terrible marriage and a terrible life while you're
So
giving
she
every
drew a line and said, Bubba,
absolutely no. And that's the
that's
only trajectory. I'm sitting there looking at my general manager, and he's at the top of the pyramid there, and he's in that dealership every single day,
Yeah.
single day, Monday through Saturday. And
Yeah.
I just had this epiphany one day. I'm like, is this really the life I want? And so I started kind of tossing that around and chewing on that. Well, if this isn't the life I want, then what is the life that I want? And I started to kind of back into that and figure out my goals. What did I want to
Yes.
accomplish? How long did I want to spend time with my family? How much money did I want to make? Was money the important thing, or was time more important? And so throughout that experience with the girlfriend beating on me, car deals beating on me, not being happy, I started to explore other avenues and other routes. And that's why I really got to give a shout out. This is not a sponsor or anything for Clear Vision Coaching, but Clear Vision Coaching Mastermind changed my whole life. I mean,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Tag that one, Ryan.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's total honesty and transparency. I'm not a paid actor for Clear Vision Coaching. But no, it's crazy how this whole story is full circle, because, Kelly Garrett, who owns Rehab Law, is a very good friend of yours and mine. She actually got her start in the lending industry with my wife's parents, so my in-laws. When she left UPS, they gave her a shot, brought her into the mortgage business, taught her, showed her the ropes. And so they actually had gotten an invite from Kelly to come to this mastermind. And so
Okay.
my in-law's like, hey, Kelly, is it okay if I bring my daughter's boyfriend at the time? He's kind of struggling with some life stuff, doesn't really know what he wants to do, not happy. Just want to kind of open his brain up a little bit, right? Break through that glass ceiling, show him what's possible. And so I went to that mastermind, and I will never forget it. Dan Rivers is sitting in there with a green Hawaiian shirt on, flip-flops, just as laissez-faire as he could be. And I'm like, and I love Dan. He knows this, so he won't get upset at me for saying this. But I'm like, if that guy can do it, I can do it. I know.
Yeah, little fucker's in Portugal right now.
Yeah, he is. He's flying. He's all over the world.
As we're speaking, he and his wife and his beautiful children are hanging out in Portugal for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's exactly the life that I wanted to be able to live when I went to this mastermind. And I'll never forget it. Danny Randazzo, fantastic individual. I mean, he's out there going through goals, right? What are your goals for this year? And I'm writing them down. I'm doing everything. I'm taking all the notes, like every good little beginner does, right? And then he flips the final page and he's like, how can you do all of this in 30 days? And I'm like, it just, that blew my mind, that you could take a 12-year timeline or a 1-year timeline and condense it into 30 days. And a light bulb clicked for me right there. I'm like, well, if I'm going to flip this house, I'm going to quit my job. And literally quit my job 2 days later. Walked in.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir. Walked in 2 days later because I knew I was currently house hacking a house in Goose Creek. Had two of my buddies living with me. They're paying the rent. I'm kind of renovating it as I go along,
Sure.
but didn't really know what I was doing until I
Yeah,
got.
I remember a conversation about that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I knew that I had that opportunity and I could taste it and it was palpable, but I knew I couldn't manage through that contractor experience while also being at a dealership for 80 hours because there was going to be a lot of issues. So,
Right.
like I said,
Yeah, you gotta sleep sometime,
yeah, yeah. So, like I said, it was 48
occasionally.
hours later. I walked in, I got into the dealership early, packed all my stuff up, walked to my GM's office and said, "Hey, here's my letter of resignation. It's effective today. Sorry to put you in a tough spot, but I've got to take ownership of my life and put my hands on the wheel and go get what I'm wanting to get." And was able to flip that house and clear a six-figure net profit, which doesn't happen all the time, doesn't happen in this market anymore. Those deals are far few and in between. But that clear vision mastermind really shifted my mindset on what I
So
want
what
my life to
do
look
you
like.
remember the month and year of that?
The month and year of the mastermind,
Yeah,
I want to say it was 2023 in the spring sometime.
okay. So it was at the,
It was at the Tides.
yeah,
Hmm.
okay, okay, very cool. So that was a springboard, and I'm grateful that clear vision coaching could be part of your journey. I mean, that's our whole goal is to be a springboard like
Yeah, and
that.
it just shows you what's possible. You're around the right people in the right rooms, and I know that's so cliche, and everybody always says to get in the
Right,
right rooms with the right people, but it's palpable. Like it allows you to view life in a different light. You have
right,
different lenses, you have different people that are operating in different capacities and being successful in within real estate investing. And like the six-figure flip didn't change my life because of the money. It changed it because it started to prove like who I was becoming. It's like, oh wow, like
right,
this is possible. I can make money outside of a car dealership.
right,
And it was just going through those motions. I shared something with you earlier. Like, there's nothing special about us. Like, the only
right.
secret is we just don't quit. Like, I ran into a lot of issues, right? I didn't have contractors. I didn't have a dispo team. I didn't have agents to help me. I didn't have any of that. I was kind of just feeling my way through the dark, hitting the walls and figuring out and swinging hammers myself. And it really just proved to me who I was becoming and that I was starting to transition into a different season of my life.
And what I'm dying to say as you're describing that is that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay forever. It's okay for a period of time to do that. And I don't mind. We had a mastermind probably before the one you came to, and there was a kind of a celebrity person who was in the room, and I had we had multiple coaching students in the room, and we were talking about going to look at properties. And this superstar was like, "You don't need to look at properties. You just can do it over the phone." I said, "Well," I said, I agree with you. I can do that. You can do that because we've done 400 flips."
Yeah.
I said, "But these people who are doing their first, second, and third flip, I don't want them to do it from photographs and over the phone. I want them to smell the mold and the cat urine and and see the fact that, you can see daylight through the soffit from the inside of I mean, and
Yeah.
I love walking houses because I have a construction background. I love walking houses with people who really don't know what they're looking at. Um, so, yeah, I want to see the beer cans and the dirty needles and the whole thing. And then there comes a time when you can say, just send me some photos. And but even then, I'm really particular saying, okay, here's how we take photos. And I'm going to go off track, and Ryan's probably going to kill me and edit this out. But we're going to do the, I'm doing it anyway. So when I take photos of a house, the last boss I ever had, when we were doing very high end remodeling and additions and you know, my last 4 projects, the average cost was $250,000. One was a $204,000 bathroom renovation.
A bathroom.
So we're doing high-end work. So Bob was very particular, and I operated after my first year there, the next few years that I worked, I operated completely independently, but within his system. So we take a picture of the front of the house, and then we go clockwise and we take a picture of the corner, the side, the corner, the back, and we would save the photos. This was before, a bunch of apps that we could, but we would save those. And then we go in each room and we take a picture of the floor and the ceiling and the
Yeah.
corners. And so when now buying a house to flip or to keep as a rental or even a listing, I can have people go through and I'm say just bear with me for 3 minutes and let me explain to you. I'm going to need 75 to 100 photos,
Yeah.
and they're going to be from these angles, and let me walk you through how I want it done so that it's as if I'm in the house. I said, well, I'll shoot a video. I don't want a video.
More pictures.
You can do it a video in addition to this if that makes you happy,
Yeah.
but I want what I want so that I can systemize. And I know working in a car dealership, I've never worked in a car dealership, but I bought cars. And kind of a funny story, my wife went to buy a Toyota hybrid. We have a Prius, a Tundra, and a Highlander hybrid. We're kind of Toyota people.
Sounds like it.
And so my youngest daughter went with her just by coincidence. And she said they did all the things. She negotiated pretty hard. They go to the finance manager, and the salesman come back, and Bianca, my daughter, was laughing. She said the guy was literally tap dancing when he came out of the finance office because she has over an 800 credit score, maybe
Yeah.
well over 800. And the guy's tap dancing like, we'll give you,
Whatever you want.
whatever terms you want, it's yours. But my point of this ramble ties back to the clear vision coaching thing is whatever business you're in, if you're selling cars or you're flipping houses or you're acquiring properties, have a system and understand what that means and how it works so you can repeat, repeat, repeat and sell 32 cars in a month
Exactly.
or flip 100 houses a year. But the only way I know to do that is to have very specific definitions of all the parameter and all the variables.
Yeah.
And even the conversations we have with people with my acquisitions team, it's fun for me.
Yeah.
It
It is.
doesn't even feel like business. It's fun for me coaching. Like, this is how we have that conversation.
Yeah.
These are the questions we ask.
I'm pulling, kind of picking up what you're putting down there. It sounds like processes and people are the most important. I was
Yeah.
at the Legacy Family pop up mastermind this past Friday down here at the Helm, and Tim Bratz dropped a fantastic nugget. It was a business owner struggling with just time in the day, right? To spend time with the kids, to work on the business and do this and do that and do this and do that. And Tim hit me with a light bulb and he said, well, Jeff Bezos has the same 24 hours that we do. What separates him from the rest of us? And Jeff's got people and processes.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what,
Tim's the one who said you don't have to look at houses. And I said, no, Tim, you don't have to look at houses. And
yeah,
I
but
don't
we do.
have to look at houses, or I don't, you probably don't need to look at an apartment building.
Yeah,
You just need a few photos. I said, but when you're brand new, I want you to taste it, smell it, hear it, feel it,
got to.
and know what that's like. And then I can smell it in the photograph years later. So let's talk about your wedding and destination and get off business for a minute and talk
Yeah,
about, because you just gosh, it's only been weeks, right?
it has. I mean, it's been about 3 weeks since I've been back. We
Okay.
were we were over there from October 1st to October 25th,
Over
and
where?
over in Italy. Yeah, we went to Italy to get married, to have our honeymoon, and this is something we've done for the last 3 years. I mean, since I left the car business, every October we take a vacation, we go to Italy. We love it over there, and
Yep.
I'd never be able to do that if I was at a dealership. There's no way that you get to leave for 4 weeks and come back. But yeah, we flew over there on October 1st, did the smart thing, did not want to get in there 3 days before the wedding. I wanted my wife to be nice and calm and relaxed. So we went down to Sicily. I parked us at an all inclusive for 11 days. She got all the spa treatments, all the stuff that she could to not relax and ease into it. And then yeah, we flew up into Florence, got married 45 minutes outside of Florence, and it was a fantastic whole 3 day escapade. I mean, we had about 50 to 55 people there, big welcome dinner on Thursday night, rehearsal dinner on Friday. We were able to coordinate a bunch of tours for people to go and enjoy. Like it was it was awesome to see like the joy on my mom's face for her to be in Italy. Like she never in her wildest dreams would have imagined that her son would be getting married in Italy and she'd have the opportunity to go over there. And
Yes.
then Saturday, as fortune would have it, we got the last day of good weather was our wedding day. 70 degrees outside, beautiful, bright, and sunny. And then every day after that was rainy and 35, 40 degrees. So we were very, very blessed on that front. And, really speaks volumes to the team that we have at Consistent Capital as well. I was able to step out for 4 weeks and our team did not miss a beat. I mean, Brandon Bartley is an absolutely amazing individual that works for me here as a business development manager in South Carolina. I left, no loans going on, hands off, and he has a record month. I mean, the guy did 2 million plus in origination in October, and really being able to have that team in place that you can just trust and that is gonna carry the torch when you're out. It was awesome. I mean, you can't replace that feeling. But yeah, we were able to spend time over there, and then actually on Saturday we're flying down to the Keys. Going to be there for 2 weeks for Christmas and working
Okay.
remote, which is what this job has allowed me to do. Is I mean, I can do anything from a laptop. Right? I don't have to be in a
Yeah.
brick and mortar in a dealership for 80 hours a week. I do come into the office because I enjoy working here at the helm, seeing you every day, seeing Ryan, seeing everybody in here. It's nice and it's fun and I enjoy it. But I have the ability and the freedom to work from wherever we want to.